first sign, an unusual interest in children. This could manifest as someone who always wants to be around children, even when it's not appropriate or necessary. This interest often extends to their hobbies and pastimes. The person may take up hobbies that are child-oriented, involve children, or even hobbies that are primarily pursued by children. They might even express a fascination with childlike innocence or purity. The second sign is having age-inappropriate relationships. This means an adult who seems to have more friends who are children than adults. This person may relate better to children, often feeling more comfortable in their presence. They may have difficulties in romantic relationships with adults, often due to a lack of emotional maturity or understanding. The third sign is preferring the company of children. Pay attention to an adult who spends most of their free time with children and shows little interest in spending time with people their own age. This individual may find ways to immerse themselves in child-oriented activities or environments. They might be a frequent volunteer at schools or become overly invested in children's clubs or organizations. The fourth sign to look out for is excessive gift giving. Be wary of an adult who frequently gives gifts or buys treats for children, often without any particular reason. This person might often have special gifts for children that they are close to. These gifts might seem overly personal or intimate, such as jewelry or clothing, and they may also give gifts that are clearly out of their financial means. The fifth sign is encouraging secrecy. A potential pedophile may encourage children to keep secrets from their parents or other adults. This adult might create situations that lead to shared secrets with the child. They might break rules or encourage rule breaking, and then suggest that it should be kept a secret. The sixth sign is inappropriate conversations. Look out for an adult who engages in adult-themed conversations with children or shares inappropriate material with them. They might seem overly interested in a child's love life, asking prying questions about their relationships, feelings, or experiences. They might also use sexual innuendos or jokes when speaking with a child. The seventh sign is crossing physical boundaries. A warning sign could be an adult who disregards a child's personal space and becomes overly touchy. This person might insist on actions like helping a child dress or undress, even when the child is old enough to do it themselves. They might also intrude on a child's personal space without apparent reason. Now, let's take a moment here. We've covered some serious ground, and I want to remind you to check out the description box below for some valuable resources. The eighth sign is manipulative behavior. A potential pedophile might use guilt, blame, or threats to manipulate a child into compliance. They may use emotional manipulation tactics to gain a child's trust, such as playing the victim, guilt-tripping the child, or exaggerating their need for the child's companionship or help. The ninth sign is overstepping privacy. This adult might use opportunities to invade a child's privacy, such as walking into a child's room without knocking or entering the bathroom when the child is using it. The 10th sign is constantly photographing children. An adult who always seems to be taking pictures of children, especially if they are not their own, can be a cause for concern. They might focus on a specific child or a specific group of children, often taking candid shots. The pictures might focus on the child's physical features or be suggestive in nature. The 11th sign is owning child-related paraphernalia. They may create an environment that's attractive to children, such as having a home filled with toys, games, and other child-friendly attractions. They might also possess children's clothing or other items that seem out of place for an adult to own. The 12th sign is inappropriately monitoring children's online activities. They might show an interest in a child's online friendships or relationships, and often try to insert themselves into these relationships. They might also pose as a child or teenager online to befriend children. The 13th sign is grooming behavior. They might shower a child with attention and praise, often making the child feel special. They might also make a child feel indebted to them, using this as a way to exert control or influence over the child. The 14th sign is social isolation. This person might have a history of moving frequently or changing jobs often. They may also have a past of accusations or suspicions of inappropriate behavior around children. And the final 15th sign is an insistence on physical affection. They might use any opportunity to touch a child, even when it's not appropriate. They might also attempt to make a child sit in their lap, cuddle with them, or engage in other forms of physical closeness. While I've been sharing these signs with you, I'm curious to know, what other safety measures do you think are important to protect children?
Oh my God, your mama must have taught you that, because you don't get that from me. What?
I want to see to be ball swinging.
No, we're not going ball. We're keeping the hair on top. We just... What the heck? I told Royalty, she can keep Daya, I can keep CJ for at least one day. Then Daya said, I don't want to separate from my brother. But CJ said, yes, I just want to be with my dad. Why you don't want to leave CJ?
I want to leave him behind.
You don't? Aw, oh snap.